mhlambe ngishumayele kodwa ngizoziwa abantu abasesontweni kuphela. But in gospel igama likaNkulunkulu ngikwazi ukugcwalisa umhlaba wonke jikelele. So
wow, today we focus on Dr. Rebecca Malope, a woman who rose to fame in her early years as a young lady in 1987. That's when everybody started knowing Dr. Rebecca Malope, and that is after she won the competition known as Shell Road to Fame. A lot of people don't know that she previously entered the previous year in 1986, way before most of us were born, which shows you that this woman stood the test of time and she remains standing and dominating up until this very day. That's why I chose her today for the series of Where Are They Now? All right, so in 1987, after failing the previous year, she won now the Shell Road to Fame competition under the Best Female Vocalist category. And from there, she did struggle after winning, according to reports, until she started working with, her producers, Sizwe Zago, and manager Peter Tladi, who actually swerved her into focusing on gospel music, looking at her vocal talent at that time. A lot of people also don't know that she started as a pop singer. And, she was dancing, singing in pop, but somehow her then producer thought, your voice is too special and it needs to be in gospel. And now when I say too special, it doesn't mean that if you sing pop, your voice is not special. But at that time in South Africa, gospel was a huge genre, and it still remains a huge genre in South Africa. So some of my favorite songs by Dr. Rebecca Malope, yes, Dr. Rebecca Malope gave inspiration to a lot of emerging artists, to a point where a lot of people were saying, Lundi, who then rose to fame much later, who was also very much younger than Dr. Rebecca Malope, everybody was like, he sounds exactly like Dr. Rebecca Malope. And if you listen to this song, careful, no one, and after that, there were many other artists, especially in the gospel industry, where they were coming out in, Rebecca's iconic cut or an iconic pixie hairstyle and wearing clothes like her, and some of them doing the kneeling, as it was her iconic signature. When she's performing, she kneels or she rolls on the floor, and we love her for that. We love her, it's a thing. But it also now inspired a lot of people, where people were said to be copying Dr. Rebecca Malope, but not even once did I ever hear Rebecca Malope complaining that somebody is copying her. In fact, she'd just keep quiet and continue doing what she's doing, and she'd be so supportive of people like Lundi, So it says a lot about her character that she knows she's the only Rebecca Malope. So if you take inspiration from her, she's not going to have beef with you for that. She's just going to let you be. In fact, what she's going to do is stretch her hand and support you. She talk about character, because in this industry, talent is not enough. Your personality, your character, and how you just lead your daily life says a lot about how long you're going to sustain in this industry. So let's take a look at some of her other songs. That was very important important, especially back in the days, is that your music had to carry a certain message, and especially when your music healed. If we look at back in the apartheid days, there was a lot of struggle in South Africa, a lot of sadness in South Africa. So people, went to music for comfort and hope and everything. So if you were an artist who sung songs that joined people together and made people feel hopeful, you were likely to succeed, which is why I love the song by Dr. Rebecca Malope that is titled Isandla.
Jehovah nkulunkulu wami ngizisondeza phambi kobuso bakho ngikuqile ngamadolo ngibeke phansi.
So Dr. Rebecca Malope continued with her music. She was traveling and she was well received, especially in African countries, because Africa is a huge continent. And what I love about her is that she just continued on bagging these awards, the greatest awards from the Summers to the Metros. Every award in the industry that was huge, you would know that Dr. Rebecca Malope would win it in the gospel, category. That's how great and influential she was. And later on, she had her own TV show, where it was titled It's Gospel Time, and people loved her iconic Shayani Zandla. and she went through that show season after season. We saw her emerge as not only a gospel singer but as diverse, where she's now a TV presenter, a TV personality, and she carried her interviews with class, and she would also stand on stage and sing for audiences. And her audience was always massive. It almost reminded me of the Felicia Mabuza or Felicia Sattl show. There's a lot of people going to the Rebecca Malope show. And then there came a time in 2003, one of Dr. Rebecca Malope's most iconic moments or life-changing moments in my perception, where she was honored with an honorary doctorate from the University of KwaZulu-Natal. At that time, it was, University of Natal. And she was honored now as Dr. Rebecca Malope, looking at her contribution into the music industry. And it wasn't just one decade, it was decades of hard work and changing the game, of standing still, traveling the world, representing South Africa, bringing people together, big stages. I told somebody close to me before I started recording this this episode that it's so hard for me because I just don't know where to begin when it comes to Dr. Rebecca Malope. She is well decorated. It's not hard for you to find what it is that she's done, but it's so hard when you have to now sum it in one, because it's endless. I could take the whole day speaking of Dr. Rebecca Malope, because that's how amazing her career is. So that moment on, we started calling her from 2003, when University of KwaZulu-Natal actually honored her with an honorary doctorate. She now became Dr. Rebecca Malope. She was now known as Dr. Rebecca Malope. And shout out to UKZN. Shout out to UKZN. I just feel like we are not celebrating her enough, though like Basadi Music Awards came out and gave her a lifetime achievement. Metro FM came out and honored Dr. Rebecca Malope. I just still feel like if you look at the years in which she started, she's one of a very few artists who are still standing. If you look at Dr. Rebecca, you're not even going to see a wrinkle. How are you doing it, Dr. Rebecca Malope? I will go straight to go. And yeah, so another moment that stood out for me was when, if I'm not mistaken, this happened in Mpumalanga, because I do remember that I covered that episode here on this channel, where Dr. Rebecca Malope was now honored with a statue. And I remember she just broke down looking at it. It was so nicely done. It was so beautiful. And I felt like, that's the type of honor we should give artists who stood the test of time, who stood up until today. That's why in Hollywood, you have the Hollywood Walk of Fame. In South Africa, I feel strongly that we should do more, especially at our, museums where we have, our music or arts museums. There's way more that we could do to honor artists who have stood the test of time and contributed positively towards society and inspiring upcoming artists. And yes, Dr. Rebecca Malope also has a very beautiful family. I know one of her daughters also emerged as, I think it's Nolu, also emerged as a presenter and also an artist manager. She's really, really doing well. And it just shows you Rebecca Malope, Dr. Rebecca Malope's influence, that she didn't keep all of this to herself, but she was able to pass it on to her daughters and so many people in the industry, the likes of Dumi Mkokstad, who still honor her, who tribute her in music at times, so yeah. Like I said, I could continue on the whole day. Everybody's still asking now, where is Dr. Rebecca Malope now? I tell you the truth. If you look at 1987, is that not 38 years now in 2026, 38 or 39 years that she rose to fame? She is still standing, releasing music, touring, performing live. She's still bagging these awards. She's still traveling the world, standing, spreading the gospel, singing and sharing her gift. She's one of the most unselfish musicians that I know. Because, and it's by choice. Ultimately, a lot of people decide to retire and say, okay, I'm no longer going to do this thing. I've done it. I'm good. But she hasn't stopped yet. She's still continuing. And recently, she was also a judge in one of the gospel shows that really made rounds in South Africa. I'm going to paste it right here. She's still continuing. We've seen her on Idols as well as a guest judge as well. You see that she's really, really cementing herself and investing her time in discovering more talent and training young people. What is your favorite Dr. Rebecca Malope song? Do let me know right here on the comments section below. I know that, when the song by Jub Jub the remix came out, all of us would wait for that part. Got Dr. Rebecca. When you get and it became a challenge on TikTok and all social media platforms where people were competing and waiting for that part and taking their cameras to say, I will show you how to do Dr. Rebecca Malope. With you, the way I know Dr. Rebecca Malope, maybe if I'm just observing, I don't even think she takes offense at people trying to mimic her. I think really she would probably laugh about it or smile about it because, it's her thing, man. We've known her for that. And I think when people mimic her, it's not to mock her or anything like that. It's actually to celebrate her that, you know what? everybody can sing, but we're gonna wait for Dr. Rebecca Malope's part because it makes us happy to mimic her. It makes us excited to be able to mimic her. So yeah, man, thank you so much, guys, for watching this show. Let me know, who would you like me to focus next, right here on Where Are They Now series. Let me know right here on the comment section below. Also remember to follow me on all social media platforms. I'm at Zandi Wardle on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, TikTok, everywhere. I'm at Zandi Wardle. Here's more of Dr. Rebecca Malope, especially now.
bazalwane egameni kajesu ngihlele ukufundisa okukhulu la bishop ubenjamin haleluya.
She is Zandi Wardle, an industry executive with an iconic walk. She wins. She's great. A phenomenal woman. She gives you the best of entertainment in South Africa. Subscribe today.